Have you ever found yourself wide awake at 2 a.m., the world quiet, the house dark, and you're shuffling across a cold floor to the bathroom? If that sounds like you, you're not alone. Meet Tom from Chicago, who's been dealing with this for years, or Susan from Vancouver, who swapped out 3 alarm clocks thinking her sleep issues were just part of getting older. I'm Dr. Eric Techberg, and today, we're diving into a journey to uncover why nighttime bathroom trips are stealing your sleep, and how a few simple tweaks can help you wake up feeling refreshed. Did you know that over 75% of people over 60 in North America and Europe are unknowingly making 5 tiny habits that mess with their bladder and ruin their deepest sleep? The good news? You don't need pills or fancy treatments to fix this. With a few smart changes, you can reclaim those peaceful nights. If this is your first time here, welcome to our channel, a place for anyone who wants to live vibrantly, understand their body, and embrace life after 60 with energy and joy. Before we dive in, I've got a quick question. Where are you watching from? Drop your city in the comments below. I'd love to know who's joining me on this journey. And if you find this helpful, hit that subscribe button and the little bell next to it. That way, we can keep sharing practical tips to make your days and nights better. All right, let's get started, because by the end of this week, you could be waking up feeling more rested than you have in years. There's this sneaky belief out there that getting up to pee multiple times a night is just what happens when you hit a certain age. But here's the truth. In medicine, we call this nocturia, and it's not a mandatory part of aging. It's often a sign that something in your daily routine is out of whack. Take John, a 70-year-old retiree from Seattle. He used to wake up 4 or 5 times a night thinking, well, this is just how it is now. But over time, he felt drained. His focus slipped, his energy tanked, and one night, he nearly tripped rushing to the bathroom. Studies show that interrupted sleeps, especially missing out on REM sleep, cuts into your brain's ability to recharge and your body's ability to heal. You might feel foggy, get sick more often, or notice your mood swinging like a pendulum. These broken nights are like tiny cracks in a dam small at first, but they can lead to bigger problems. Here's the uplifting part. In over 80% of cases, nocturia isn't caused by a serious medical issue. It's often tied to simple habits like what time you eat dinner, how much water you drink in the evening, or even how warm your bedroom is. After years of working with folks across the US, Canada, and Europe, I've pinpointed 5 key habits that trigger nocturia. Adjust these, and your body can naturally reset, letting you sleep through the night like you used to. Stick with me, because I'm going to break down each one and show you how to tweak them gently to fit your life. Let's kick things off with a habit that seems harmless but can quietly sabotage your sleep. Sipping too many fluids or eating watery foods in the 3 hours before bed. You might think, I'm just having a glass of water or a cup of tea. What's the big deal? But those small choices can add up, turning your nights into a series of bleary-eyed bathroom trips. Across North America and Europe, this is one of the most common culprits behind nocturia. And the good news is, it's also one of the easiest to fix. Picture Linda, a 68-year-old retired librarian from Toronto. For years, she'd end her day with a steaming mug of chamomile tea, a bowl of juicy cantaloupe, and sometimes a small glass of milk to help her wind down. It's my little ritual, she told me with a sheepish smile. But those rituals were costing her. Linda was waking up 3 or 4 times a night, trudging to the bathroom, and feeling like her bladder was calling the shots. She tried everything, cutting out coffee, avoiding soda, even talking to her doctor about medications. Nothing worked. She was starting to think sleepless nights were just her new normal. Then, during a consultation, we dug into her evening habits. That chamomile tea? That refreshing cantaloupe? Those were flooding her system with fluids right before bed. I suggested something simple but powerful. Stop all liquids and water. Rich foods 3 hours before hitting the pillow. That means no tea, no milk, no juicy fruits like watermelon or oranges, and even no sneaky sips of water while brushing your teeth. Linda was skeptical at first. I thought I'd be parched, she admitted. But she gave it a shot. 2 weeks later, Linda called me, her voice brimming with excitement. I'm down to 1 wake-up a night, and some nights I sleep straight through, she said. For the first time in years, she was waking up feeling clear-headed and energized, not like she'd just run a marathon in her sleep. This small change worked because it gave her body a chance to produce more vasopressin, a natural hormone that tells your kidneys to slow down urine production at night. When you overload your system with fluids late in the evening, you're essentially asking your kidneys to work overtime while you're trying to rest. Now, let's break this down a bit further. Why does this happen? Your body is like a finely tuned machine, and it relies on a delicate balance to function well at night. When you drink or eat watery foods close to bedtime, your kidneys don't get the memo to slow down. They keep processing fluids, filling your bladder, and sending you those urgent signals to get up. Over time, this can disrupt your sleep cycles, especially the deep REM sleep that's crucial for memory, mood, and overall health. Studies from sleep clinics across the US and Europe show that cutting late-night fluids can reduce nighttime wake-ups by up to 60% in otherwise healthy adults over 60. That's a game changer. But what if you're someone who gets thirsty at night? Or maybe you're on medications that make your mouth feel like a desert? Here's the trick. Shift your fluid intake earlier in the day. Aim to hydrate well in the morning and afternoon. Think water, herbal teas, or even broth-based soups at lunch. If you're worried about waking up parched, keep a small glass of water by your bedside, but make it a rule to only sip if you really need it. Linda, for example, now keeps a tiny bottle by her bed but rarely touches it. It's like a security blanket, she laughs. Just knowing it's there helps me relax. For folks with conditions like diabetes or those taking diuretics, it's smart to check with your doctor before making big changes to your fluid intake. They can help you tailor this habit to your needs. And if you're wondering about those sneaky, water-rich foods, here's a quick list to watch out for. Watermelon, cantaloupe, oranges, cucumbers, and even soups or smoothies. These are great during the day but can overload your bladder at night. Let me share another quick story. Mark, a 72-year-old from Denver, had a similar issue. He loved his evening ritual of a grapefruit and a warm glass of milk. It felt healthy, he said. But after switching to a drier snack like a handful of almond sand cutting fluids after 7 p.m., he noticed a huge difference. "I'm sleeping like I did in my 50s, he told me. His energy levels soared, and he even started joining his grandkids for morning walks. This habit is about giving your body a break. It's not about deprivation, it's about timing. By moving your fluids earlier and skipping that late-night tea or fruit, you're setting yourself up for deeper, more restorative sleep. As Linda put it, one small change gave me my nights back. I feel like I've reclaimed a piece of my life. And that's the goal, isn't it? To wake up feeling like you again. So, tonight, try skipping that evening drink and see how your body thanks you. Next up is a habit that catches a lot of folks off guard. Eating dinner too late and indulging in foods that act as natural diuretics. You might be thinking, a salad or a cup of tea? How could that mess with my sleep? But these seemingly healthy choices can quietly turn your nights into a restless cycle of bathroom trips. Let's dive into why this happens and how a simple tweak can make a world of difference. Meet Robert, a 67-year-old accountant from London. Every evening he'd sit down to a hearty dinner around 8:30 p.m., a big salad with cucumber, tomatoes, and a sprinkle of feta, followed by a cup of decaf coffee or sometimes green tea. "It's my wind-down time," he told me. But that wind-down was costing him. Robert was waking up at 1 a.m., 3 a.m., and sometimes 5 a.m., dragging himself through the day like a car running on fumes. "I thought this was just what getting older felt like," he said with a shrug. Here's the science. Certain foods and drinks like cucumbers, watermelon, celery, asparagus, coffee, and even green tea are natural diuretics. That means they encourage your kidneys to produce more urine. When you consume them late in the day, especially after 4 p.m., your kidneys go into overdrive, filling your bladder when you're trying to catch those precious Z's. Add a late dinner into the mix, and you're asking your body to digest food while it's supposed to be resting, which can further disrupt your bladder's rhythm. Robert's story is a perfect example. His 8:30 p.m. dinners, packed with diuretic foods, were keeping his kidneys active long into the night. I suggested 2 changes. Move dinner to 6 p.m. and avoid diuretic foods and drinks in the evening. At first, he was hesitant. "Dinner at 6? That's what my grandparents did," he laughed. But he gave it a try. Within 10 days, he was waking up just once a night. By week 3, he was sleeping 6 hours straight, something he hadn't done in years. Let's unpack why this works. Your body operates on a circadian rhythm, a 24-hour clock that tells your organs when to work and when to rest. Eating late throws that rhythm off, keeping your digestive system and kidneys active when they should be winding down. Diuretic foods make it worse by signaling your kidneys to produce more urine. Studies from sleep researchers in Canada and the UK show that eating dinner before 7 p.m. can reduce nighttime urination by up to 50% in older adults. It also improves digestion, reduces acid reflux, and even helps your body absorb nutrients better. So, what are some common diuretic culprits? Beyond the ones I mentioned, watch out for citrus fruits, pineapple, zucchini, and even chocolate, which contains caffeine-like compounds. Drinks like herbal teas, alcohol, and even sparkling water can also act as mild diuretics. The goal isn't to cut these out entirely, they're great during the day. Just save them for earlier meals. For dinner, opt for drier foods like grilled chicken, roasted vegetables, or a small portion of rice. Let me tell you about Sarah, a 65-year-old from Chicago. She loved her late-night salads with tomatoes and a glass of wine. It felt so light and healthy, she said. But those choices were waking her up 3 times a night. When she shifted dinner to 6:30 p.m. and swapped her salad for a baked sweet potato and some lean protein, her nights transformed. "I'm not just sleeping better," she told me. "I have more energy for my morning yoga class. My husband says I'm like a new person." If you're someone who loves a late dinner, start small. Try eating 30 minutes earlier each week until you hit 6 or 6:30 p.m. If you're hungry later, go for a small non-diuretic snack like a handful of nuts or a slice of whole grain toast. And if you're on medications that affect digestion or urination, talk to your doctor about timing your meals. This change isn't about giving up your favorite foods, it's about working with your body's natural rhythm. By eating earlier and avoiding diuretics, you give your system time to process food and rest before bed. The result? A quieter bladder, better sleep, and mornings where you feel refreshed instead of foggy. As Robert put it, "I didn't just get my sleep back. My wife says I'm perkier at breakfast now. She's even teasing me about joining her morning walks." That's the kind of change we're aiming for, small shifts that feel like a big win. Now, let's talk about a habit that feels like second nature to so many of us: the just-in-case bathroom trip before bed. It's like a sacred ritual. Finish your evening, brush your teeth, hit the bathroom one last time to empty the tank, and ensure a good night's sleep. Sounds logical, right? But what if this well-meaning habit is actually training your bladder to wake you up? Let's dig into why this happens and how to break the cycle. Meet Margaret, a 73-year-old retired nurse from Boston. Every night, she'd wrap up her day with a cup of warm milk, a few pages of a mystery novel, and a quick trip to the bathroom, just to be safe. She figured it was a smart move to avoid waking up later. But despite her efforts, she was still getting up 3 or 4 times a night, feeling frustrated and exhausted. "I thought I was doing everything right," she told me with a sigh. Here's the surprising truth. Your bladder is like a muscle with a memory, and it learns from your habits. When you empty it out of routine, even when it's not full, you're teaching it to send urgent signals at the slightest bit of pressure. Normally, a healthy bladder holds 300–500 milliliters before signaling the need to go. But if you're in the habit of going when it's only got 100–150 ml, it starts acting like an over-eager alarm clock, waking you up for no good reason. When Margaret and I talked, I introduced her to what I call the true urge principle. Instead of hitting the bathroom out of habit, wait for a real, undeniable need to go. This might mean lingering over your book for an extra 15 minutes, listening to some calming music, or doing a quick breathing exercise to relax. The goal is to retrain your bladder to signal only when it's truly full. Margaret was nervous at first. "What if I can't tell when I need to go?" she asked. But she gave it a try, reading a bit longer and distracting herself with a podcast if she felt antsy. Within 2 weeks, something incredible happened. Margaret's wake-ups dropped from 3 to 1, and some nights, she slept 5 to 6 hours straight, something she hadn't done in a decade. "I had no idea I was sabotaging myself," she said with a laugh. "Now I wake up feeling like I've got my old energy back, like I'm 60 again." Let's look at why this works. Your bladder's muscles are designed to stretch and hold urine until they reach a certain threshold. When you empty it prematurely, you're essentially telling it to stay on high alert. Over time, this creates a feedback loop where even a small amount of urine feels urgent. Studies from urology clinics in the US and Europe show that retraining the bladder with the true urge approach can reduce nighttime wake-ups by up to 70% in older adults. It's like teaching your bladder to chill out and do its job properly. If you're wondering how to start, here's a practical tip. When you feel the urge to go, just in case, distract yourself for 10-15 minutes. Try deep breathing, a short meditation, or even counting backward from 100. This gives your bladder a chance to settle and helps you tune into its real signals. For Margaret, listening to classical music worked wonders. "It's like my bladder and I made a truce," she joked. If you're on diuretic medications or have a condition like an overactive bladder, talk to your doctor before changing your habits. They might suggest additional strategies, like pelvic floor exercises, to support your bladder. And if mobility is an issue, getting to the bathroom is tough. Keep a small bottle or container by your bed. Just don't use it unless you really need to. Here's another quick example. George, a 71-year-old from Calgary, had the same just-in-case habit. He'd go to the bathroom twice before bed, thinking it would help. But after switching to the true urge approach, he was amazed. "I'm sleeping longer, and I feel sharper in the morning," he said. "It's like I've unlocked a secret to better nights." This habit is about trusting your body. It's not about ignoring your needs, it's about listening to them more closely. By letting go of the just-in-case trip, you're giving your bladder a chance to reset and your sleep a chance to deepen. As Margaret put it, "One small change gave me my nights back. It's like I'm in charge again." Try it tonight, and you might just wake up feeling like a new person. Here's a habit you might not have connected to your nighttime bathroom trips: the way you sleep and the pillows you use. Most of us don't think about our sleep posture when we're tossing and turning at 3 a.m., but it can play a surprisingly big role in nocturia. Let's explore why your sleeping position matters and how a few tweaks can help you sleep through the night. Meet David, a 70-year-old retired math teacher from Manchester. For years, he loved sleeping on his stomach, convinced it helped him relax and keep his heart rate steady. "It's just how I've always slept," he told me. But he was waking up 3 to 4 times a night, feeling an urgent need to pee, and his back was stiff every morning. He figured it was just age catching up until he consulted a sleep specialist who dropped a bombshell. His stomach, sleeping habit was putting direct pressure on his bladder, triggering those wake-up calls. Here's how it works. When you sleep on your stomach or in any position that compresses your abdomen, you're squeezing your bladder, even if it's not full. This sends false signals to your brain, making you feel like you need to go. On top of that, using a pillow that's too high or too flat can mess with your circulation. Poor circulation during the day can cause fluid to pool in your legs, and at night, when you lie down, that fluid shifts back into your bloodstream, making your kidneys work harder and filling your bladder. David's specialist suggested a simple fix: switch to sleeping on his left side, with a pillow between his knees to keep his spine aligned, and a medium-height pillow under his head to support his neck. At first, David was skeptical. "I've been a stomach sleeper for decades," he said. But he gave it a try, using a soft pillow between his knees and adjusting his head pillow to keep his neck in line with his spine. 2 weeks later, he was sleeping 5 to 6 hours without waking up. "I thought it was just my age," he said. "Now I wake up without that urgent dash to the bathroom and my back feels better too." Let's dive into the science. Sleeping on your left side is often recommended because it aligns your spine, reduces pressure on your bladder, and improves blood flow. This position also supports digestion and can ease acid reflux, which is a bonus for restful sleep. Adding a pillow between your knees keeps your hips aligned, reducing strain on your lower back and further easing bladder pressure. Studies from sleep labs in the US and UK show that proper sleep posture can cut nighttime urination by up to 40% in older adults. And the right pillow height, keeping your neck in line with your spine, prevents circulation issues that lead to fluid buildup. So, how do you make this change? Start by assessing your current setup. If you're a stomach or back sleeper, try transitioning to your left side. It might feel strange at first, so give it a week to adjust. Use a pillow that's firm enough to support your head but not so high it cranes your neck. A good rule of thumb: when lying down, your neck should form a straight line with your spine. For the knee pillow, a thin, soft one works best, nothing bulky. Let me share another story. Anna, a 69-year-old from Seattle, was a back sleeper who used a stack of flat pillows. She was waking up 4 times a night and dealing with leg swelling. After switching to left-side sleeping with proper pillow support, her wake-ups dropped to 1 or 2, and her legs felt lighter. "I had no idea my pillows were part of the problem," she said. "Now I sleep deeper and wake up with less stiffness." If you have arthritis or mobility issues, ease into this change gradually. You might try propping yourself slightly with an extra pillow to avoid rolling onto your stomach. And if you're not sure about your pillow's height, experiment with folded towels to find the sweet spot. The goal is to create a sleep environment that supports your body's natural alignment. This habit is about giving your body a chance to rest without unnecessary pressure. It's not about overhauling your entire bedroom, just making small, intentional tweaks. As David put it, "I never thought something as simple as how I sleep could change my nights. Now I wake up feeling lighter and ready for the day." Try adjusting your position tonight, and you might just find that peaceful sleep is closer than you think. Last but not least, let's talk about something most of us overlook: the temperature of your bedroom and what you wear to bed. You might think your cozy flannel pajamas or warm room are helping you drift off, but they could be the silent culprits behind your nighttime bathroom trips. Let's explore how to cool things down for better sleep. Take Emma, a 69-year-old retired school teacher from Denver. For years, she slept in thick flannel pajamas, even in the summer, and kept her bedroom toasty with a closed window. "I thought warmth helped me sleep," she told me. But she was waking up 4 or 5 times a night, sweaty and restless, feeling like she hadn't slept at all. By morning, she was groggy and short-tempered, blaming her age for the exhaustion. Here's what's happening. When your bedroom is too warm or your sleepwear is too heavy, your body struggles to regulate its temperature. Overheating increases blood flow as your body tries to cool down, which sends more fluid through your kidneys, leading to more urine production. This quiet mechanism can turn a restful night into a series of bathroom dashes. Research from sleep institutes in Canada and Europe shows that an overly warm sleep environment can increase nighttime urination by up to 30% in older adults. When Emma consulted a wellness expert, she learned that the ideal sleep temperature is around 65-68 degrees F, 18-20 degrees F. She made 3 simple changes: switched to lightweight cotton pajamas, cracked a window for a cool breeze, and added a small fan to her bedroom. Within a week, her wake-ups dropped from 4 to 2. By week 3, she was sleeping soundly most nights. "I blamed my age for years," she said with a laugh. "Turns out, it was just my pajamas and a stuffy room." Let's break down why this works. Your body's core temperature naturally drops at night to signal it's time to sleep. A warm room or heavy sleepwear disrupts this process, keeping your body in active mode. This not only triggers more urine production but also messes with your hormonal rhythms, making it harder to reach deep, restorative sleep. Breathable fabrics like cotton or linen help your skin stay cool and dry, while a slightly cooler room supports your body's natural cooling process. So, how do you make this change? Start by checking your bedroom's temperature. If you don't have a thermostat, a small fan or an open window can work wonders. Aim for that 65-68 degree F range, cool enough to feel refreshing but not so cold you're shivering. For sleepwear, swap heavy pajamas for loose, breathable options like cotton t-shirts or lightweight sleep sets. If you're prone to feeling chilly, layer thin blankets instead of piling on heavy ones. This lets you adjust as needed without trapping heat. Here's another example. Michael, a 71-year-old from Vancouver, used to sleep in a warm room with fleece pajamas. He was waking up 3 times a night and felt drained by noon. After switching to cotton sleepwear and using a fan, his wake-ups dropped to 1. "I feel like I'm sleeping like a teenager again," he said. "My mood's better. And I'm not dragging through the day." If you live in a warmer climate or don't have air conditioning, try a breathable mattress pad or cooling sheets made of natural fibers. And if you're worried about getting too cold, keep an extra blanket at the foot of your bed for easy access. The key is, balance. Your body needs to stay cool enough to rest, but comfortable enough to relax. This habit is about creating a sleep environment that works with your body, not against it. It's not about freezing yourself out, it's about finding that sweet spot where your body can fully relax. As Emma put it, "A cooler room and lighter pajamas made me feel like a kid again, sleeping like a rock and waking up ready for the day." Try tweaking your bedroom setup tonight, and you might just discover the peaceful sleep you've been missing. So, I've got a question for you. What's been keeping you up at night? Maybe you thought it was just a weaker bladder, or the inevitable march of time. But now you know 5 simple habits could be the key to unlocking peaceful sleep. From skipping that late-night tea to adjusting your pillow, these small changes are like golden tickets to better nights. Across cities like New York, Toronto, and London, people are making these tweaks and waking up shocked at how rested they feel. They're sleeping longer, feeling lighter, and greeting the morning with a spark they thought was long gone. If you're still here, it means you care about your health, your peace, and your joy. So, drop a comment below. Tell me which tip resonated most. Or just write, "Hope," if you're feeling inspired. It's a little nod to yourself that you're ready for better days. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so we can keep exploring ways to live your best life. Share this video with a friend or loved one who's chasing that elusive good night's sleep. You've spent years taking care of others. Now let's take care of you. Here's to peaceful nights and energized mornings. I'll see you in the next video.